seeing that the weather has taken a turn and we have snow. Yeah, last week we've got uh, almost 5 inches of snow, and the roads were a mess. Therefore, they put salt on the roads. So that kind of ends the riding season for me, because I'm not real prone on taking my scooter out on the road and getting it all full of salt. If I were to do that, I'd have to wash it down completely. And in this kind of weather, I mean, it's cold. It's in the 30s, and it's been down in the teens and lower. I think the other day it was 8 degrees. So that was pretty cold, and not real conducive to washing the bike. So that being said, I think I reverted to using the motorcycle as a leaf blower today. It kind of worked, didn't it? Just to give you an idea what the bike would look like if I took it out on the road. Yeah, that's it. That would be on that. And I'm not big on that either. So that being said, we're not going to go out riding today or anytime soon for all that matters. So what does an old biker do when you can't ride when your riding season is over? I envy some of you guys. You know, some of you guys are like down in Texas where you still got riding weather. Florida perhaps still got riding weather. But up here in Northeast Ohio, close to Lake Erie, you know what? There's probably some diehards that are out there riding that don't care much about their bike. They don't mind, or maybe they're just not bright enough to know that it can be quite damaging to the finish of your bike, to the chrome, to the aluminum, to the paint even, and it'll just speed up the rust process. I don't want to do that at this point. I've taken a lot of care of my bike up to this point, and I'd like to continue to do that. So I guess I'm going to hang it up. It still started right up this morning in like, I don't know, it's in the mid-30s, so it fired right up, and it runs fine. I think it would like to ride in this kind of weather. The air-cooled Harleys do very well in the cold weather. But that being said, I like to always share a story or so just to keep me in the biker spirit, I guess. I was remembering back to many, many years ago, and we were out for a ride. I think there was like 4 of us on motorcycles. And we happened to be riding in town, and it was fairly congested traffic, somewhere near Akron, Ohio. It was, I think, one of these 5 lanes, 2 lanes each way and a turning lane in the middle. And the traffic was like stop and go. There was a lot of traffic lights and a lot of stopping. And I don't remember where our destination was. I don't remember where we were going at the time, but we were heading somewhere. And there was a guy in like a black Nissan sedan who didn't seem, for some reason, very happy with bikers. And we weren't doing anything out of the ordinary. We were just riding, double side by side with the 2 bikes in the front, 2 bikes behind. And he started to like creep up really, really close on our tail end. Well, of course, when you're on a motorcycle and somebody's on your rear end, obviously you like turn around like, can I help you with something? I mean, why are you pushing my tail? I'm exposed here on a motorcycle. I don't, if somebody rear ends you, you're going to plow right into me and cause me bodily damage, and I don't like that. So give me some distance on my motorcycle. Well, I don't know if that irritated the guy even more. Not to label people or put them in categories of any type, but this person seemed to be of a Middle Eastern, I guess, descent, and I'm not sure what ethnic what country he was from, but he had a hot head. It irritated him very much that we were annoyed that he was tailgating us. So at that point, he decided he was going to come around us, and he came around us really fast and cut right in front of us, practically clipped our front tire. It was, like I said, it wasn't heavy. It was in heavy traffic, so it wasn't like we were going at any, I think the highest speed we went was 25, 30 mile an hour, maybe at that on this road. But it was just a lot of stop and go. So now he was in front of us, and my one buddy got a little annoyed because the guy in the sedan started doing brake tests, you know, where he would like slam his brakes on real quick, like he was trying to get us to, you know, hit him or something. I don't know. But we found it kind of annoying because really we had done nothing to provoke this guy other than the fact that we didn't like him tailgating us. So my one buddy got on, you know, just kind of got on it and went around the car and cut back in front of him again. Well, the guy in the sedan wasted no time in accelerating again, coming up alongside my buddy, and ran him into the curb. Literally ran him into the curb. I mean, hit the side of his bike and pushed my buddy right into the street curb. And my buddy, he didn't lose control or anything. He almost lost it there, and luckily he wasn't going very fast. He was able to save the bike and keep going. But at that point, the fellow in the sedan took off as fast as he could through traffic. And because he had rammed into my buddy, we took off after him. We followed him for a couple blocks, and then he pulled into a vacant parking lot where we followed him, all four bikes, into the parking lot. Before I could even get off my bike, though, my buddy had jumped off his bike, ran over to the car, pulled the door open, and just started pounding the crap out of this guy. Well, the guy had a girlfriend in the passenger seat, and she jumped out of the car and literally took off running down the sidewalk in fear of her life. Our only intent at that time was to settle things up with the jerk that, you know, tried to run us off, or tried to run my buddy off into the curb, or actually did run my buddy into the curb. So, you know, road rage, yeah, that's road rage, and it's pretty much uncalled for, but it happens. Which brings me to lane splitting, which I don't think is legal here in Ohio, but I know in a few states it is legal to split lanes where you go right down between the cars. In heavy traffic situations, it's legal to do that. Because it's legal, though, do you find that a safe practice? I don't know if I would be feel too comfortable doing that. I've seen videos where guys are just flying in between those cars at a high rate of speed, just like they were on a wide open highway where all the other vehicles are at a dead stop. And it would be my concern that, what if somebody decided to change lanes right in front of you at that minute and didn't see you coming? What if somebody opened their car door? And I'm sure those kind of things have happened before, but I think in a lot of situations that lane splitting, when you're on a motorcycle, can aggravate motor vehicle drivers and even exacerbate situations. So I'm not real sure that I would be prone to do that. And it seems like I see a lot of the younger guys doing that on the crotch rockets or the sport bikes that are more agile, but I've seen a couple Harleys doing that too. I have seen here in Ohio, even though it's not legal to split lanes, you know, where in heavy traffic situations, I've seen motorcycles ride up the berm lane, which again is illegal, and even do lane splitting to try to get ahead of the traffic situation. But if you get caught, I'm sure there could be a citation, a traffic citation here. Anyway, here's some of the thoughts I had for today. Nothing big. I don't need to find things to do when the weather gets crappy like this, because there's plenty of work for me to do in the house. You saw my last video, I started painting. I was able to get the ladder set up and paint way up in the loft area there, where it was a good 16 plus feet up to the ceiling there. So that was a big challenge, but that's done. It's all painted. The ladders are all put away. I didn't get hurt. I didn't fall off the ladder. I didn't spill a bucket of paint, knock on wood. So now I have all the easy painting to do, and I need to get in there and continue on that. Once I get a project going, I like to keep going on it until it's done. But for me, that's hard to do. I'm one of those guys that starts something and then likes to procrastinate on it. And some projects I still have hanging over my head from a long time ago that I haven't finished yet. So I need to really inspire myself to keep going on those and to get them behind me. Well, that's all I got today, cats. It's been nice chatting with you. Hope you're having a good weekend. Until next time, I'll catch you later.